All right, I'm here with two Roosevelt Island residents, Zora and Kalin, and we're standing in front of the Roosevelt Island Steam Plant, which is scheduled for demolition by the New York City Housing Preservation Department. And Zora has started a petition to save the steam plant. So Zora, can you tell us a little bit about why you want to save the steam plant?
I'm a long-time Roosevelt Island resident. I'm raising my family here, and I'm also a practicing architect. I've been practicing architecture in Manhattan for 25 years. We, as residents of the island, we pass by the building every day for a long time with our children. One day we just noticed Roosevelt Islander published that this building is going to be demolished. So as somebody that's working on adaptive reuse of historical and old buildings, very often my first reaction was, wait, what? This demolition is presented as emergency demolition, but as a professional, I know from my practice that these buildings, this type of historical buildings from the 30s, are built very sturdily. They have very, very strong bones. They are built to withstand industrial level loads. And when I read about the emergency, my first instinct was, this is not really possible. Something very systemic and very huge has to happen to this building, so emergency is necessary. And then we started asking the city agencies, we started getting curious, we started talking to RIO, we started asking HPD and DOB about answers. So that happened at the end of November 2025. And today we have very little, close to no information about why this building is considered dangerous and why is it so important to be hastily demolished. So what I see in this building is a building with strong bones and a building that can be adapted and reused for many community programs, many community uses. The ones that we desperately need on the island, like extension of our school, which is bursting by the seams, maybe new covered market, maybe professional offices, maybe universal pre-K space. Everybody now is talking about universal pre-K after the change in the administration, and we need space for this definitely. We've seen around the country many examples of old industrial buildings being repurposed successfully. And another way that we can look at this building is being so strong, it can be extended horizontally, vertically. We can add affordable housing to this building. We can preserve the history. We can provide the community with space as much needed, and we can add something very needed to the island, affordable housing.
So right now you're just asking for a pause in the demolition?
So right now we got together, we started the petition, which is started by the new non-profit organization we are forming on the island called Architectural Community Alliance of Roosevelt Island. And we are asking for pause of the demolition until we figure out what feasibility study has been done on the building, what are the real reasons for this emergency, and what do actually the residents need to do with the building before it's too late.
Okay. So Kalin, you've been looking into the potential environmental hazards from the demolition. Can you tell us what you found out, please?
So regardless of the future of this building, environmental cleaning needs to happen. But the way it needs to happen is following all the regulations and making sure that the safety of the people on the island is priority. Unfortunately, this is not what we have found. The moment we started looking into the building, first thing you can notice, even at the moment, there is no construction permit posted on the fence of this construction site. And again, as Zora mentioned, none of the institutions, HPD, no one was answering questions what's going on, except Department of Environmental Conservation. I mean, they were really fast to react on the signal that there is a construction work and oil tanks demolition is happening without permit posted on the fence. They came on the site under 24 hours And coming to the site, they discovered immediately that there is an oil spill, active oil spill at the moment on the site. A couple of days later, they stopped the construction work. So at the moment, demolition is on pause, and DEP is investigating what exactly happened, and they're working on developing a plan for proper remediation. But this is just an example of how this so-called emergency it's giving a way for the demolition company to just speed ahead and not follow the regulations. And this is a very old building. It's from 1934. Definitely we know that there are many tanks, huge oil tanks with oil number 6. We know that there is asbestos in the building. That was confirmed even by the demolition company. We suspect that there could be lead paint, PCB, mercury, forever chemicals, anything that you can imagine. It's a very old building, and it was industrial facility. So we want to make sure that there is a full transparency. We want to see all of the environmental testing samples. We want to see the results. We want to see comprehensive plans of cleaning, and then we can discuss what's going to be the future of this building.
Do you know if there's been any kind of environmental impact statement done prior to the demolition of the building?
We haven't seen one. And we asked during the meeting with RIOC several days ago, we asked RIOC, they're not aware also. RIOC is not even aware if there is an environmental certified or environmental cleaning company involved in the demolition. And we haven't seen one. And HPD is not responding. In the response that we finally received several days ago from HPD, they're mentioning that they are working on developing a comprehensive plan, but in the meantime, demolition is going on. So, and it's really concerning because the demolition is happening in the backyard of the building, right next to this backyard and the huge oil tank and the active oil spill. It's the tennis court. And the tennis court is air-supported structure that constantly takes outside air and pumps it inside to support the structure itself. So this is really concerning.
There's also the sports park, which is
The sports park is another side. We go to the sports park a couple of times a week. There is not a single air testing equipment on the site or around the site. We don't know what's going on. If you look on the color of the snow right here and then compare it to the color of the snow next to the excavation site, you can see a big difference. This pile that you see on the outside, this is the dirt from the tires and from the construction site that was cleaned and pushed out. How clean is this soil? We don't know. But there is a chance that it's not a garden quality organic soil.
Going back to the emergency demolition order, because the building is supposedly unstable, the only document that we got so far from Department of Buildings is this handwritten note, which is hard to read. According to internal rules of the Department of Buildings, when a building is condemned to emergency demolition, there needs to be structural report. You cannot just pass by the building, even if you are a licensed professional, look at it and determine that the taxpayer needs to spend $7.5 million to demolish it. You need to walk the building, document, prepare structural report, which is a substantial document. Oftentimes we test part of the structures for strength to determine if it can be kept or not. So we've been asking DOB and HPD for this structural report for months, and we haven't seen one. This emergency order states that there are cracks in the building. Yes, there are. There are cracks in many buildings, and buildings need maintenance, and especially buildings that are built in the 30s of the last century. And here comes the question, who is supposed to do maintenance of the building and repairing the cracks? So we dug a little bit deeper into the DOB system, and we realized that during Mayor Adams' administration, HPD suddenly stopped maintaining the building. Last maintenance was done, I believe, 2020, based on the records, public records. And after that, HPD stopped maintaining it. How do we know? Because DOB issued 11 violations in a very short period of time. Now, the violations do not ask for demolition, they ask for repairs. And HPD was supposed to do these repairs. However, no filing for repairs is evident in the city system. So my question to HPD is, as a steward of this building that actually belongs to us, the taxpayers, what did you do to rectify the DUB violations? And if you did nothing, why? Beyond the possibilities that this building has for adaptive reuse, there is also historical value to it. It's part of the history of the island, and we would like to know why was it condemned so fast, you know, to complete demolition to ground. That's what it says in the emergency order.
Okay.
Demolition to ground.
Great. Thank you very much.